If you've ever felt overwhelmed trying to organize your month, or you're not sure about how to set clear, manageable goals that work for you and your lifestyle, this is the video for you. Hi, my name is Lao-Ann, and I am a productivity enthusiast who has struggled with procrastination and overwhelm until I eventually figured out a productivity planning system that worked for my lifestyle and not someone else's. And I'm here to help everyone else do the exact same thing. So, whether you're a beginner or you're just looking to change up your planning routine, grab a piece of paper, grab a pen, and let's dive in. So, for our first step, we're going to spend a few moments in stillness and silence. I know it's very, very tempting to go straight in with the planning and everything, but if you just jump straight in, you end up being even more overwhelmed than when you started. So just do me a favor and spend some time in stillness and silence. You could do this any way you like. I like to do it by spending some time in prayer, but I know some people would prefer to do meditation or listening to just some calm, peaceful music, or just lie there in utter silence. Whatever works for you, just make sure that you're not immediately jumping into planning. Then you can move on to step two. Step two, we are going to empty our minds. We don't want to go into this new month planning with a lot of clutter. So we're going to make sure that we empty our minds. And the easiest way to do that is by getting a piece of paper and a pen or a notes app or a notepad, whatever you want to use, and just pour out all the thoughts that are in there. You could do this in different ways. You could journal. I personally like to blurt out my thoughts. I organize them into categories like random thoughts or things that I want to do, things I've been procrastinating on, just pretty much everything or anything that has been filling up my mental space. And I know I would do a lot better without if I wasn't thinking about it all the time. Whatever works for you, just do it. Now, step three, we're going to figure out where we are now. And the easiest way to do that is to use last month and figure out what went well and what didn't. So we're going to write down all of the things that went well, all of the things that we started last month or in the months before that we'd like to carry on into this new month, and also the things that didn't work well and problems that we might be having that we would like to correct. An example of this would be maybe one thing that went well is for me, I started reading a new Bible plan, and I also started to go to bed just a little bit earlier. But what didn't work out would be I haven't really been making time for seeing my friends or talking to other people very much. So those are things that you would take note of and figure out what worked, what didn't, and then we're going to move on to the next step, which is step four. We're going to figure out what what responsibilities or big projects that we have coming up in the month. Like maybe you have a birthday party coming up, maybe you have work, maybe you have a challenge you need to do. I personally will be I'm embarking on a writing challenge this month, and of course that's going to take up a lot of my time, so I'm going to put that down. I have personal work that I do. I am starting this YouTube channel. I have a blog. So all of these things are things I'll take note of as my responsibilities, events, and projects that I have that will come up in this month of November or in whatever month you guys are watching this. Step five, you're going to make a list of all of the fun things you want to do in this month. You cannot plan your month without planning to spend some time doing things that you actually enjoy, because if you do that, you're going to end up being super overwhelmed and unhappy by the end of the month. Sure, you're going to accomplish your goals, but you're not going to enjoy yourself while doing it. So make sure to make time for things that you enjoy. It could be your hobbies. Maybe you could go see somewhere nice or have a way to treat yourself. Just make sure you're doing something fun this month. Step six, you are going to make your goals. Now, here I'm going to advise you to just make it super basic, super simple. You're going to make goals from all the other list of things that you had done earlier. So, from where you are now till the fun things. So, from where you are now, the good, the bad, the projects, responsibilities, and events that you have, and the fun things. You're going to make your goals from these four sections. You're going to make goals from these four sections. So right now I'm going to advise that you keep it a bit simple. You don't overcomplicate it. You could say, okay, if one of the things that didn't go well is I didn't make time for my friends, all you're going to write is I will spend more time being social, or I will hang out with my friends more. We're not going to go deep down into the, you know, thought process or how to accomplish these goals just yet. We just want to get the goals written out. That's once we do that, we are almost halfway done. Another example is if, okay, I spend too much time doom scrolling. Okay, I will stop doom scrolling. It's so basic, but for now, it's one of the things that will help us. So just go basic, just go simple, and write down all the goals that you have from there. And don't worry, if there are a lot. We'll address that later too. Step seven. Step seven, we are going to categorize and redefine our goals. We're going to categorize them into project and habit goals. Now, if there's a bit of confusion, I'm going to explain. A project goal are those like big picture goals. You know, they have a set deadline or a clear endpoint. So something like I'm going to finish a dissertation or a project, or I'm going to get a job. These kind of goals have a clear endpoint and often have lots of smaller tasks that can be done inside of them. While habit goals are goals that can be done repeatedly. So you do these pretty much every day or every week. Something like I'm going to exercise every day, or I am going to read my Bible every day, or I brush my teeth every day. I read a book, I read 10 pages of a book every day. These are habit goals. So we are going to take a look at all our goals, and we're going to define them by habit goals and project goals. So in that list that you've made, just put a P near your project goals, things with a clear endpoint and a definite end, and habit goals for the ones that can be done repeatedly. So example, let's go back to the social. I'm going to be more social. Well, how can I do that? Maybe I can make it a habit goal and say I will hang out with my friends or reach out to my friends, if not every day, every week. That's a habit goal. Step 8. We are going to make it easy for ourselves to actually accomplish these goals. And how do we do that? By breaking them down, especially our project goals. So for your project goals, you're going to break them down into smaller actionable steps that can be done in maybe a week or a day. So going back to the example of I'm going to get a job. Well, how am I going to do that? Well, maybe I'm going to research my field. What skills are they using in my field? That's a step. Two, I'm going to figure out if I have those skills or not. Step three, if I don't have those skills, I'm going to figure out where I can learn from those skills. If I do have, I can just move on to another step. Okay, I have the skills, I'm qualified, I'm going to look at my CV and my resume. So I'm breaking down my big goal of I'm going to get a job into smaller steps that I can achieve. Now for your habit goals, what you're going to do is, if you since you can't really break them down as easily, you're going to make a habit tracker. Now it's super easy to do those these days, because if you don't want to write it out yourself, or that's what I like to do, I draw it out on a piece of paper. You could use a habit app. There are loads and loads and loads all over. You could even use Google, because Google has tasks and you can just tick those off. I'll write down some other apps that are also good for habit tracking up here. And yeah, so whether you like to do it digitally or physically, either way, it's something that can be done in less than a few minutes. So take a look at your goals and write down those habits. Now, step 9, you are going to check in weekly and adjust if needed. Now, goals, plans, and life in general can change so quickly. And if your goals need tweaking or changing, or if by the end of week one you realize that maybe the way I was going with this isn't the best idea, that is completely fine and it's definitely natural. So, you're going to go through your goals weekly, figure out what worked, what didn't, tweak your lifestyle or the goal depending on which needs changing, and just keep working on it. And that leads me to step 10. You are going to reward yourself. Too often, we are so focused on the big end the big end goal that we forget to celebrate the little wins. So maybe every day or every week that you complete a habit, or for every new task that you do, you're going to give yourself a little reward. It doesn't always have to be something expensive. It could be something like taking a nice walk, or spending some time doing a habit or hobby that you love. It could be, if it is monetary, it could be something small like getting yourself a little juice or a sweet or an ice cream flavor that you like. Anything. It could be literally anything. Just make sure that you celebrate your little wins as much as you do the very big ones. And that's it. That is how you can plan your month based on your lifestyle, based on your goals, and based on the way you live your life. So, I wish you the best of luck, and I would just like to remind you that even though you can make the perfect plan, it may not always go the way you want to, and that's okay. You can readjust and go with the flow and see where that takes you. So I hope I will see you all again another time. And remember that I love you, God loves you, Jesus loves you, and you are amazing. See you.